Hello my gorgeous girlies, I hope you're well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all good. Now today, this is an exciting video. This is my first ever mid-year reading wrap up. We're going to go through all of the books that I've read so far in 2025, and I'm not going to lie guys, being myself a slow-ish reader and this being my first year actually fully getting into reading, we don't have too many books, but we have a good chunk of really good books to talk about. So get yourself a cuppa, get yourself a brew, get yourself a nice beverage. To be honest, I'm drinking water. Not the most exciting drink in the world, but nevertheless, we've got a cute drink in a cute water bottle, so let's get cracking. Actually, no, before we get into anything, this is my new cozy corner. Oh God, please do not drop. This is my new cozy corner. Do you like it? She's cute. I mean, she's not 100% finished, but I wanted a dedicated corner in my house so I could get snug, get cozy and read my books. And this is my spare room, my spare bedroom, and I have transformed it into a cute little cozy corner because I'm not kidding guys, this bed was a dumping ground. And I know I'm not the only one that has that. Everyone has a room in the house that is a dumping ground for washing, just, yeah, general stuff. And that was this bed. But not anymore, not anymore. This is officially the cozy corner, and my dog has well and truly claimed it. He's already claimed it. When he comes upstairs, he immediately comes and gets all snug in this corner. He's claimed it. This is basically Louie's cozy corner now. But anyway, enough rambling, let's get into this. I'm so excited. I have my little book journal here and we are gonna go through everything that I've read in 2025. Honestly guys, I'm just living my reader era. This is my reader era, reading era. This is my girly reading era. Yeah, that sounds better. I desperately need to update this. I haven't updated this in about 2 months and we need to. I made this for a reason and I was dedicated to it, so yeah, it needs to be updated. Guys, we are starting off strong. I'm afraid to say it, I'm that basic bitch that got into reading because of the ACOTAR series. I'm sorry, I am sorry, but at the same time, I'm not sorry as well, because those books, oh my days. I mean, if there was anything that was gonna get you into reading, it was gonna be those books. They are incredible. I have got everyone onto them. I've got my friend onto them. I've got my stepmom onto them. I've got my nan onto them. I've got my mum onto them. If you haven't read them, what are you doing? What are you doing? These books, oh my God, these books are so incredible. And the first book that I actually read this year was A Court of Mist and Fury. That book will forever hold such a dear place in my heart because yeah, I read A Court of Thorns and Roses last year, I think around November time. I really did love that book. The second half of the book, oh my days, I was absolutely hooked. But this book in particular, A Court of Mist and Fury, I don't know why, but it took me a good few months afterwards to get into the second book. And I don't really know why, to be honest. I really cannot say why. I really just don't know. But this book, oh my days. I love this book. This is probably, in fact, no, this is my favorite read of 2025 so far. And yeah, I told you, we're starting off strong. This book is just incredible. If you're not familiar with the ACOTAR series, it is basically a fae fantasy series. There is romance, there is, just so much that happens in these books, and in this book in particular, oh my God, there's so many twists, there's so many turns, things are just revealed. This is by far my favorite book in the ACOTAR series. I'm gonna say that right now. A lot of people, from what I've seen on TikTok, they either absolutely love A Court of Mist and Fury or A Court of Silver Flames. I've read all of them now, and my favorite for definite is A Court of Mist and Fury. The longing, the yearning between these two characters, just going from A Court of Thorns and Roses and from favorite being with Tamlin, and obviously I'm not going to spoil anything, but then going on to this book and then learning little things that suddenly made sense that were hidden in the first book. It was incredible. It was so well done, and things were just like clicking into place. They were like, oh my god, so that's why that happened in A Court of Thorns and Roses. Oh, and the ending of this book, oh my god, I immediately had to pick up the second book. Because this book leaves you on such a cliffhanger. It makes you feel sick. And in true Sarah J Maas style, at the about 100 pages left of her books, you know you're in trouble. You know that you are in trouble, because so much happens. And I love that. As soon as you get to like the last tiny sliver of a Sarah J Maas book, that is it. You're like, how can all of this just be happening in the last 100 pages? And it makes you feel sick inside. But then that is what I love about a book. When a book makes me feel sick, I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. To be honest, it's so hard to explain what happens in this book without spoiling the whole thing. You just need to read it. And of course, this book was a 5-star. And even though this was like the first book or series of me getting into reading, I still to this day will forever have that book as 5 stars, because it is just absolutely incredible. And then the second book that I went on to was the third book in the ACOTAR series, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, this book, again, guys, something major happens in this book, and it made me cry, it made me weep, and it made me feel very, very, very sick. And again, that is just what I love about these books. Just, oh yeah, the stress. So this book took a little bit of a different turn. We still had the main focal point on the two main female and male characters, and again, if you've not read these books, I can say that Feyre is the main female character, but like, yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard, because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that has not yet read this absolute masterpiece of books. But this book in particular is a lot more plot focused, a hell of a lot more. A Court of Mist and Fury is very much set around the romance, 110%. But on this one, it kind of takes a sidestep, even though it is very much present. It is so action-packed, like so action-packed. If you like plot and you like them going on missions, going to find things, then you are 110% going to love this book. They go to war, and the war scenes are incredible. And the start of this book, because of these two books back to back, A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin, as soon as you read these books back to back, and there's no way you cannot want to pick up A Court of Wings and Ruin after A Court of Mist and Fury with the way that ends. Oh my god, as soon as this particular thing was resolved, I was like, we can breathe. But then yet again, you get to the last 100 pages in a Sarah J Maas book, and that is it there, and that is it. All shit hits the fan. Again, this book was 5 stars for me. I loved it. I ate it up. I absolutely ate it up. And these two will forever be my favorite books in the ACOTAR series. Like, oh, yeah, I just love them. I love them so much. I could talk about these books all day. And then following on from that, I actually went into the next book in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Frost and Starlight. I hate the fact that people give this book so much stick, because personally for me, I loved it. It was very much needed. If you are fully invested in this series and in these books, then you will very much appreciate A Court of Frost and Starlight. I don't know if you've seen, but it is a lot smaller, and it is classed as a novella, I believe, compared to the other books. I'm not gonna lie, not an awful lot happens, but it's basically mainly character progression. You see how the characters are acting after they've just had a huge war, and so much has happened. And this book just basically shows, yeah, character progression. And I really appreciated that, because you go through so much stress in all of these books, and as soon as you get to this one, it's a bit of a breather, and it's really just like happy and light, and I really appreciated it. And the fact that people give it so much stick, and some people even saying to miss it out, I mean, no. This book was just so needed, so needed, and I rated it 4 stars. So after this, I was gonna jump straight into the last book in A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I decided to give myself a little bit of a break, and I actually read Never Lie by Frida McFadden, a juicy little thriller. So I really enjoyed this book. It was definitely much needed. It was a nice little palate cleanser, and yeah, you know what, it was fun. It was very fun. The little plot twist in it, I was like, oh, I did not see that coming. So it was very good, very much needed. I read this in about 24 hours. It was very easy to read and very easy to digest. This was my first Frida McFadden book, and it was great. It was really great. I rated this, what did I rate this? 3.5 stars. And to be honest, I'm thinking maybe like 3.5 stars. It was my first little thriller that I'd read in a hell of a long time, but I think the first main thriller that I ever read was Verity, and this is giving Verity vibes. So in this book, Never Lie, it follows our main female character. Her and her new fiance are looking for a house. They go to this house and she finds these tapes from this professor, I think it is, who used to live in this house, but she's gone missing, she's vanished. Nobody actually knows where she is, but they've gone to go to this house because it is up for dirt cheap and they want to buy it. But yeah, there's this whole mystery around this house because yeah, this professor has basically gone missing. I think she's a therapist actually. Is she a therapist? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. But anyway, she finds these tapes and she listens to all these tapes. But these tapes are basically with her patient. Sort of starts to unravel these mysteries. It basically starts uncovering the truths as to why she disappeared and where she actually might be. And yeah, it was a fun read. Very fun read. And it was definitely needed, just like a nice chilled little book in between all of the drama and just amazingness of the ACOTAR books. So this was definitely much needed. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, like I said, 3.5 stars for this little thriller book. Guys, I then went on to Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Oh my god, guys, I absolutely love this book. For a standalone book as well, this was just absolutely perfect. If you are into gothic horror, fantasy, that type of thing, then you were gonna absolutely eat this up. I really want to reread this, and I really want to read Enchantress as well. I haven't read that. This book, guys, this book. This again has lots of mystery behind it, and it's all about these deadly trials. So we have our main female character. What's her name? I think her name's Ophelia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure her name's Ophelia. And she basically goes into these deadly trials, which is called Phantasma. The person who wins at the end gets granted anything that they ever desired, and she finds out that her sister has gone into these deadly trials and she doesn't have a clue why, so she goes into the trials to try and find her sister. And this is basically a massive haunted house, guys. So much happens, and she meets this gorgeous, sexy phantom called Blackwell. Oh my god, if you have not yet been introduced to Blackwell, you need to read Phantasma. This guy, oh my god, I love this book so much. The spice in it is spicy. It is so spicy, and it just has so many different type of fictional characters in it. I'm talking phantoms, I'm talking monsters, I'm talking ghosts. The main character is a necromancer, Ophelia. Straight off the back of this book, it dives straight in because her mum passes, and then she gets her mum's powers, which is to be a necromancer. Guys, if you love like Halloween spooky vibes, you're gonna eat this book up. There is a massive twist that happens in this book, and this is classed as a standalone. And Enchantress, they're interconnected standalones. I ate this book up. I absolutely loved it to pieces. The only quarrel I have with this book is I just wanted more. I wanted so much more. I could have read a whole other story on Ophelia and on Blackwell, and that's the reason why I couldn't give this book 5 stars. This is a 4.75 star read for me, but I will 110% be reading this again around Halloween time. I love this book so much. I love the twist. Yeah, just if you haven't read it, you need to read it. So the next book that I dipped my toes into, guys, I was introduced to the world of Elsie Silver, and I read the first book in the Chestnut Spring series, Flawless. Oh my god, Elsie Silver, Miss Elsie Silver. You know how to do a cowboy romance. There is a reason why her books are so incredibly hyped, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first started reading this book, after reading all of these fantasy books, I was a bit like, oh, am I gonna like this? Because I just love fantasy, I love romantasy. When I was first reading it, I was like, oh, am I gonna get into this? Guys, I ate this book up. I loved it so incredibly much. It was so light and fluffy, and the spice in it, the spice was spicing, let me tell you that. Oh, just, I can't wait to read the rest of the books in the Chestnut Spring series. I honestly cannot wait. But this follows Summer, yeah, her name's Summer, and she basically works for this agency, and it's her dad's agency, and he basically looks after like cowboys. And there's the main male character, Rhett Eaton. Everyone just needs to get introduced to Rhett Eaton. I'm not even kidding. That man, he is basically going a bit out of control. He's getting a bit reckless, and Summer's dad, who owns this agency, basically gives Summer the task to be his babysitter and to look after him and make sure that he is basically being managed well. So he is given her the task to be his manager and basically make sure that he is going to be a good boy. I mean, does he end up being a good boy? I mean, I'll leave you to figure that out. But this book was everything it just needed to be. I ate it up. I loved it. Oh, it was just so light and fluffy, and I loved the way that it ended. And like I said, the spice. Elsie Silver books are hyped for a reason. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I rated this book a good solid 4 stars. I loved it. I loved it. Okay, so the next book that I read was Sunrise on the Reaping. Now, guys, the more I think about this now, I think I might have just read this at the wrong time, and I wasn't really into it, and I kind of think maybe I should have stopped reading it, read it when I actually felt like I wanted or was in the mood for that sort of dystopian world. But I don't know what this is. I don't know. I didn't really feel too invested in the story. Now, I haven't read any of the Hunger Games books, but I am very much clued up on all of the films, all of them. I've watched all of them, and I'd watched A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I think that's what it's called. I'd watched that quite recently, and when I was reading Sunrise on the Reaping, I very much got all of the twists and all of the little Easter eggs in the book. And I did look on TikTok, and quite a lot of people did say if you've watched the films, then you don't necessarily have to have read all the books. And I know a lot of people do say as well that the films miss out a lot of things in the books. But nevertheless, I still feel like I obviously got all the twists, I got all the characters that were coming back into this story, and I did enjoy it, but not as much as I hoped I would have enjoyed it. Honestly, I can't put my finger on it. The story itself is so incredibly sad because we're following Haymitch's story. If you've watched the Hunger Games, if you've read the Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen's mentor is Haymitch, and this is his story as to when he went into the Hunger Games, and it is so incredibly sad. He goes into it at such a young age. I think he's 16 when he goes into it. Obviously, straight off the bat, we know that he survives, and it's so weird just reading it and just knowing that all these characters are just gonna die basically. And that's not even a spoiler because we already know that. We already know that Haymitch survives and wins the Hunger Games. So yeah, I don't know what it was about this book. I did enjoy it and I did enjoy the story, but I think I'm gonna enjoy the film a lot more than I did the book. Honestly, guys, I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint my finger onto it as to why I didn't feel 100% invested in it. I don't know if the way it was written, because it's a YA book, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know at all. But nevertheless, I still give this book a solid 4 stars. I did really enjoy the story. Like I said, it is incredibly sad, and yeah, I am really looking forward to watching the film. Guys, the next 2 books that I'm going to talk about, oh my days, if there is anything that has got me close to feeling the same feelings and the same emotions that I felt in the ACOTAR books, it's these next 2 books I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to talk about both of them because I've read both of them back to back. So this is a duology, and this is the Crowns of Nyaxia books, and this is The Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and Star Cursed King. Oh my god, guys, these books, these books, oh, I ate these up. I ate these up so much. So this is dipping our toes back into the fantasy world, guys, and this is vampires, and oh, I love this so much. I'm starting to realize that I just love Deadly Trials. Like A Court of Thorns and Roses, the second half of that book going into the Deadly Trials that Feyre goes into, oh my days, I just ate that up. And then going back to Phantasma as well with those Deadly Trials, and then going into The Serpent and the Wings of Night and those being Deadly Trials. Yeah, I'm slowly realizing that Deadly Trials is my thing. That is my thing. But this follows our main female character, guys, Araya, and she is a human living in a world full of vampires. And I love the way that this book is written. Like Carissa Broadbent, I just know any book that she reads, I'm going to absolutely love and devour, because the way this was written was just absolutely perfectly. We got her point of view, Araya, and then we started flickering back into between her point of view and then her dad's point of view. So Araya's dad is a vampire, and we get this story that she has basically been saved by him, and he is the Night King. I'm pretty sure that's what he's called. Yeah, I swear he's called the Night King of the vampire realm, and he is the highest of the highest. He is the most powerful, highest ranking vampire in the whole of this realm, and we get his point of view from where he found her in the human realm, and he basically picked her up and saved her because I think there was like a little bit of a war breaking in. And the whole of this book, you're sort of questioning, well, why has he done that? Why has he decided to save this human girl? And oh guys, the twists and turns in these books is just next level. I love these books so much. So Araya is brought up by Vincent, who is her basically adopted dad. Well, no, yeah, she's adopted, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. And he has brought her up to think she cannot trust anyone, her guards need to be completely up, and she is basically got to be scared. Basically, she is brought up believing that everything is out to get her, which is just such a horrible thing when you've got something like that imprinted in your brain. And that is what has happened to Araya. She has been brought up her whole life to be scared and just fear everything, but her herself is not scared. Like, she's very strong-willed and very incredibly brave, but she has shut everything out. Like, she does not trust anybody on just nothing, nobody apart from Vincent. And that's just the way she's been brought up, and she just lives in a world where she is prey and she is constantly on guard. And there's these deadly trials that happen every few years, and they're called the Kajari, and the person who wins the Kajari will get given a gift of anything they desire from their goddess Nyaxia. But only one person can win and everyone else basically dies. So she enters the Kajari because she wants to be granted this bond with her father, and I think it's called a Coriatis bond, and it's basically makes her an equal and gives her these powers and these strengths, but then she is completely bonded to her father, and she is basically made to be his equal, and she will be as strong as him and share these powers, so she's no longer a prey in this world. But when she enters these deadly trials, she slowly but surely becomes friends with the main male character, Rain, and just so much happens, so much happens. I love the character Misha as well. She's like this funny, witty vampire, is very much like airy fairy, like in her own little world, but at the same time there's so much mystery around her as well. And she actually has her own book, which I'm very much wanting to read. I think it's called The Songbird and something like that, but I definitely want to read that book. But Araya is going through these deadly trials, but as you can imagine, like, she slowly starts to grow feelings for Rain. And the ending of this book, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, the stress and the sickness that I felt at the end of this book, I was like, what the hell just happened? I was shocked, and it immediately made me want to pick up the next book Like, you need to pick up the next book immediately after reading this. Like, there's no other way to do it. And The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, it is so incredibly hard for me to say what happens in this book without completely spoiling what happens at the end of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. If you want true enemies to lovers, and I mean true enemies to lovers, you need to read this series. There is just so much that is uncovered in The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. There's loads of things about Araya's past and her family, and just things about Vincent that are just completely uncovered in this book. And the tension between these two characters, between Araya and Rain, is next level. It is absolutely next level. And with the ending of The Serpent and the Wings of Night, it makes you feel so incredibly confused as to how to feel between these two characters. Like, yeah, you need to read these books. You need to read them so much. So for The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I give this a solid 4.5 stars. I love this so much. And then The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, I actually enjoyed this more than I did The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I give this a solid 4.75 stars. To be honest, altogether, I think this is a 5-star series for me. I genuinely do think, even though both of the books I've not rated either of them 5 stars, but as a whole, but as a series, as a duology, I would give this a 5 stars. And I mean, can I do that? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. If you want true enemies to lovers and you want a vampire romance with deadly trials and just so much unpacked, you need to read these books. You need to read them like yesterday. Like I said, these were the only books that gave me that similar feeling to the ACOTAR books, and that is such a big, bold statement, but it's just true. It is just true. Okay, so the next book that I went on to read was the last book in the ACOTAR series, and I buddy read this with my friend, and yeah, it was A Court of Silver Flames. This book, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this book. Like I said earlier, some people loved this book and said it was their favourite book, and this is Nesta's book. This is Nesta's story. It's all from Nesta's point of view, and it is following her and Cassian. And don't get me wrong, I really love this book as soon as it got to about halfway, which is mad to think. As soon as it got to halfway, I was invested in the story and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But the first half of the book, I was enjoying it, but it just felt incredibly slow, and it felt like not an awful lot was happening, because to be honest, not an awful lot did happen. But as soon as you got to the halfway point, that was just, I was so in. The one thing that I found when I've been on TikTok is people are either absolutely obsessed with Nesta or they're absolutely obsessed with Feyre and Rhys. And to be honest, I was very sad when I was reading this that they weren't in it more, and I think that just speaks volumes and why I love A Court of Mist and Fury the absolute most. I don't know, I still feel like Nesta, obviously I understand her a hell of a lot more as a character, and that's what really delves into this book. If you haven't read the ACOTAR books, Nesta is a very cold, standoffish person, but as soon as you get to A Court of Silver Flames, it sort of unravels that and it shows why she is the way that she is. But even then, even still, I still felt like some things that she was doing was really bugging me and really annoying me. But again, I still did really enjoy just reading from her point of view and getting her perspective of things. But yeah, guys, like I said, the first half of this book, I found it hard. I did find it hard, and my friend said the exact same thing. But everything that happens past the halfway point, again, I just loved it and I absolutely ate it up. And again, the last 100 pages, something mad happens between Feyre and Rhys, and again, it made me feel so sick because I love Feyre and Rhys so incredibly much. Like, oh, I just love them so much, and it makes me quite sad because I think the last book, or I don't even know if it's the last book, but the 6th book in the ACOTAR series, everyone's sort of saying that it's going to be Elaine's story, and again, that just makes me feel so so sad because I just love Freya and Reese so much, and I'm hoping and praying that there's going to be another book based on these two. But this book has a lot of yearning, has a lot of tension between like Nesta and Cassian, and it's this built up romance where you're just like wanting to shake Nesta and just be like, oh my god. You want like a lot of yearning and a slow burn romance. And another thing that I absolutely loved about this book, it is based on girl power, guys. It has a lot of girl power. So Nesta becomes friends with these two girls. Their names have completely slipped my mind. I just love their bond, their connection. All three of them become such close friends, and they all have their own secrets and their own trauma that they've all been through, and that is what connects them so much, and that is what I loved with this book. It was just so completely different, and it's the first sort of book where there has been such a strong friendship between three girls, and I absolutely love this so much. But yeah, altogether I think I'd give this book 4.5/4.75 stars. I don't know, it's really hard for me to pinpoint. I don't know what it is, because obviously half of a book is such a big chunk of a book, and this book is a chunky bitch, guys. It is massive. It is the biggest book out of all of them, and for half of it for me to not fully be invested, it's a lot. It is a lot. But yeah, like I said, 4.5/4.75. I really don't know. Like, I love this book the second half, but yeah, that's just, yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard. Okay, so going on to the last book that I've read so far in 2025. And like I said, guys, it's not an awful lot of books, but it's an awful lot of books for me. It is loads of books for me. I still can't believe that I've read that many books in a year. Like, it is absolutely mental, considering I've gone from literally reading about 2 books a year to going to reading all of those books in 6 months. It's mental for me. It's absolutely mental. So this book is A Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel L. Jensen. I really enjoyed this, guys. Really enjoyed it. I give this book a solid 4 stars, and this is a romantasy, but it's Vikings, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it and ate it up. This was a book that I just read incredibly quick, and I loved it. The fact that in this book, but all of their gods are very much real to them, because this is a fantasy setting, and there's witches, there's spells, and I loved it. I really loved it. So this book follows our main female character, and the whole book is done in her POV, and she has these gifts because she has a drop of God's blood in her. To be honest, throughout the whole of the book, it's a mystery. She doesn't quite know how she's managed to get this God's blood in her, but it's given her these powers that she's had to hide her whole life. And when she ends up having this battle, her powers are revealed, and she has been revealed to be this shield maiden that is in this prophecy. Everyone is basically either out to get her and kill her, or to actually use her as a weapon to basically take over the kingdom and become king. And that is what is happening with Freya. She basically can't trust anybody because everyone is basically using her. But so much happens in this book that I really enjoyed. They're patrolling through the woods, they're going on different missions, there's different towns that are coming into war to basically try and obtain Freya. And while she's at it, she ends up becoming married to this, is it called a Joel? I can't think of what it is, but basically the leader of this town. She basically becomes wed to him. She meets his son Björn, who is one hunky Viking man, and she basically ends up falling for him. But it's this whole forbidden romance, because this man that she's ended up being married to, which is Björn's father, he is basically using Freya's family as leverage. So saying if she ever does anything, if she ever betrays him, if she ever tries to escape, that he will basically go after her family and kill her family. And then when she starts falling for Björn, it's just this forbidden love and this tension between the two characters I just absolutely love. There's lots of little things unfolded in this. The only thing that I would say about this book is the twist at the end, and it leaves you on such a cliffhanger to jump immediately into the second book. The only thing is, I definitely saw this twist. I knew who this betrayal was. I definitely could tell, but then nevertheless, still, when it was all revealed, it was still very much like, oh God, as if that's just happened, but I kind of already guessed it anyway. But I had such a fun time with this book. If you're looking for a Viking romantasy and you've not read anything like that, I would 110% recommend this book. I had such a fun time with this, and that's why I give it a solid 4 stars. And Freya as a character, out of all the books that I've read so far, she is the one that I relate to the most. She is just putting her family and her friends before her, and I love the way she just speaks her mind, and she just falls hard and she falls fast. And I just relate to that so incredibly much. Yeah, I just love this book, and I will 110% be picking up the next book, which is actually out. Pretty sure it's been recently released. I would definitely be picking that up. But yeah guys, that is my mid-year reading wrap up. We have just read so many incredible books this year, and I'll just show you the book that I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading Haunting Adeline, and this is a dark romance because I felt like I wanted to take a little sidestep from fantasy, and I'm eating this up guys. I'm absolutely loving this. Yeah, I was very much intrigued to see if I was into dark romance, if this is something that could be a genre that I could get into, but I am really loving this so far. I mean, this guy is murdering for her. Yes, he is a psychopath and he is doing a lot of very unhinged things, but are we loving it? We are loving it. Guys, yeah, that is my mid-year reading wrap up, and all the books that I've read, I've absolutely loved, and I love just this little reading journey that I'm going on. Like I said, I'm in my girly reading era. That's what I said, wasn't it? Yeah, girly reading era. But out of all the books, I have to say A Court of Mist and Fury is 110% my fave. Those books are just like my little babies. I love them so much. I'm gonna actually get a floating shelf here and put all of my ACOTAR books on there, just so that they're here in my little cozy room with me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's been so nice just sitting down and going through all of the books, just actually speaking about them and just feeling how passionate I am about each of these books, and just reading in general just makes me so happy. It's so happy. But I will leave the links to all of my socials down below. I'm very much active on my BOOKTOK and my Bookster, and I hope to see you over there. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. It honestly means the absolute world to me, guys. We hit 500 subscribers. Thank you. It honestly just means the absolute world to me, and I just feel so incredibly grateful to have you all here. Sending you all so much love. Do people even do that anymore? Don't people, what is it? I can't even do it. What's that? Oh, that. I can't even do it. That just feels weird. Yeah, that feels better for me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.